Well, good evening, everyone. Michael Soothing here. I thought what we would do tonight is a fishing equipment haul video because finally fishing season is here on the Oregon coast. So I got the bug, even though I don't like to spend money very often. I did something different than I normally do. I got on Amazon and bought a few things so that I would be well equipped for the fishing season. And I've got 6 different packages because for some reason they didn't send it all together, since I think some could be shipped one day, some could be shipped a different day. So let me start with a yellow envelope and see what's in this one. It's a package in a package. This is what's in it. And I don't know why they sent it in such a giant padded envelope. But that's what they do. So I suspect this is a very small, they tied it in a way where I need somebody with fingernails. Will anybody volunteer? It's a little hard to get undone. But I'm sure that if I work at it long enough, I can do it. I believe what this is, yes, finally, success. I believe this will turn out to be a very small, portable fishing rod. Sure enough, that's what it is. Because I have 3 different backpacks that I use for fishing, that I put the fishing equipment in. One for freshwater, one for saltwater, and one for all-round fishing, where it could be fresh or saltwater, fairly light gear, whatever, if I happen to come upon a good fishing opportunity. So let's take the protective cover off and check this rod out. It's got the standard, it's got a real short, it's meant to be very compact, so of course it's got the knurled screw thing here to put your seat your spinning rod in. It looks like it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 segments, 7 guides. Okay? Let's see how big it gets. Oh, I may think this is 8 segments actually. Because there was 1 segment without a rod guide on it. This is made by some name I can't pronounce. Sogayayalang. Made in China, I haven't bought stuff before with this name, so I have no idea if it's good, bad, or indifferent. Well, it is about 5 foot. It's 5 or 5.5 foot. 5.5, I think, fully extended. Very compact when it's not extended. I'm not sure what kind of action this will do, but it feels to me like I better be using this for smaller game fish if I don't want it to break under action. probably not for a giant catfish or a giant bass. I'm thinking this is more like for trout, bluegill. What is the salmon that I catch in the lakes that are real small? Not coho. They're only up here. I didn't catch them in California. The name will come to me in a little bit. Anyway, gets really small, see? So that'll be really nice for the freshwater only fishing bag. What else do we have? Next, I have this box here. I cut it with the scissors already to open, but I haven't looked inside yet. I thought we could do that together, if you don't mind. So let's see what's in here. Actually, I didn't cut this one very well. I have to pop it open still. Some of the tape is still not cut. I promise not to annoy you by exploding these things. Instead, they make a nice crinkling sound, don't they? I think. Anyway, a pleasant sound, I see. What we have here, some Stren fluorocast. This is fluorocarbon line, which I have not used before, but it's considered very premium in the fishing world. Let's see what it says. Supple and smooth for excellent handling. Virtually invisible for more strikes. Excellent knot and shock strength. Greater density allows lures to run deeper. Policy 100% fluorocarbon. Yeah, so this is supposed to be superior line. So it's 6 pound test. So that could handle a fish up to, I'd say, 3 pounds or so. So this would be good for large trout, medium-sized bass to smallish, you know, panfish. You can't really see if there's any color to it, but it's not really possible to evaluate it for you at this point. But it looks like a small diameter for 6 pound. It looks like 4 pound test diameter, 6 pound test strength. So that will come in very handy for my lightweight tackle. What do we have here? The same company I never used before. Sugayalang, or Lang, I don't know how you pronounce it. Fishing reel. Let's check it out. Made in China, like everything else today. Pretty well wrapped for protection. Comes in a black pouch, like that rod also did. Let's see what this reel is going to look like. Oh, this is not, it's funny they sent this is a larger spinning reel. This is for light saltwater or heavy freshwater fishing. And I believe I bought 2 reels, a small one and a larger one. So this is the larger one. I better take that tag off. Let's see. It's got a really smooth drag, it seems like. It feels high quality, like there's a lot of good ball bearings in there. I'll tighten the drag up. Oh yeah, that's very smooth, no matter what pressure you set it at. You can use this to tighten or loosen drag so that the fish won't break the line when you hook one and they're pulling line off the reel. You know, for you people who don't fish. For those who do, you already know this. It's got a left or right option, so the handle can be switched to the other side. And personally, I like to hold my rod in the left hand, and I like the spinning reel handle to be on my right hand side, so I'll switch this handle to the other side. Let's see if it's got a clicker, an anti-reverse lock. Yes, up on top here. Yeah, so that locks this in place, right? So that it won't spin backwards and tangle up your line. It's got a little twisty knob that looks like a wrench. Looks like a socket wrench, see? Interesting. But it's hollow, and I think they did that for weight, to keep it fairly lightweight, which is what you want. You want rugged durability, but you don't want the reel to be super heavy and causing fatigue when you're fishing, right? So we'll put that aside for now. And these boxes. And see what's next. I have a big tall box over here, which is probably the larger fishing pole, collapsible. Yep, it looks real similar. Great big tall Amazon box. This always looks kind of like a smile to me. Although some people, well, anyway, we'll put that box over there. Oh, this has a super piece of tape on it. I'm gonna have to get something to cut that off with. Be back in a moment. Alright, I'm back with my scissors. So we'll cut this here. I don't really care about this protective holder because I probably will never use it. I won't keep it in the protective pouch. Oh, this one came undone much easier. I wonder if the people who make these in China ever get to go fishing, you know? I would feel bad if they made fishing poles and reels all day and they never got to go fishing. That would be a drag. I remember when I was a kid, a naive kid, and I went on this trip with my grandparents to the East Coast, and they like to stay on the cheap. I hope I didn't tell you this story already. And, yeah, this is the bigger fishing pole. They like to stay on the cheap overnight. So they stayed, it was that era's version of, yeah, what's the overnight stay thing that people do now? I forget the name. But it was before that time, of course, long before computers. And they would write to places that had ads in magazines and stay on somebody's farm or in their backyard with the camper. We had a camper and tents. My granddad did, right? So I'd go on these long trips in the summer. We stayed on this farm, and there was a river right next to the field, the farm field there. And I had my fishing pole. So I went over there with my little artificial worms and things. And the kid that was about my age working on the farm, I said to him, "Do you want to go over there and go fishing with me?" It was dusk. And he said, "I've never been fishing. I'd love to." And I thought to myself, never been fishing? Are you crazy? So we went over there, and we had about a half hour of light, and I caught 2 or 3 catfish. And I said to him, "How come you don't go fishing? It's great, it's right here next to you." And he said, "You don't understand. I have chores every day until long after dark. I would never have time to go fishing." And I felt so bad and so stupid because, if you've ever heard that John Denver song, growing up a Kansas farm boy, life is mostly having fun. He obviously never grew up a Kansas farm boy if he was going to write that lyric, because life as a Kansas farm boy is mostly 16 hours a day of hard labor. Okay, anyway, way off topic. This pole is much bigger but still portable, so I can put it in my saltwater bag. Let's see how big it gets. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 segments, but they're much bigger than the other one. Wow, this thing's gonna be pretty good for, it could be used for surf fishing even. It's that big. It's getting so big, this will be very handy because you know how fishing poles are too big to fit in the trunk or in the car. This thing is, I can't even put it up to the ceiling. This thing is huge. I think it's 10 foot or something like that. Yeah, it looks to be about, it's a 10-foot pole. Amazing. I can't show you the whole thing, but it's big. Maybe if I rearrange it and let it go back into the distance behind me, I can give you some idea of the size. Whoa, sorry about that bang. It's so long. There's the guide tip. Now I'll start moving it back behind me into the kitchen. It goes, and it goes, and it goes, and it goes, and then it goes some more, and then it keeps on going until finally you get to the base of the grip, the handle down here. I think I could snag food out of the refrigerator with this thing from, a quarter mile away. All right, let's collapse it back down. This is a very interesting acquisition. It could be used, I think, as a river fishing rod for steelhead. I'm a little worried about how much abuse the end of this thing can take, though. It's not proven in battle yet. I'm not sure that it could really handle a large fish, but I guess I'll find out someday. All right. Bang again. Here we have a little black bag. It's making making interesting rattling sounds. Let's see what's in the bubble wrap. Ah, yes. I wanted to try, lures, fishing lures in any sporting good store or sporting good department in the department store are very expensive. Generally, most of the better ones run somewhere between $4 and $9 a piece or more. So I wanted to try, let's get this bubble wrap off. What if I bought some bargain ones? These are like Rapala lures, but it was like 5 of them for $5 or something. And diving plugs. They've got the diving lip on them. I think the colors are pretty good. 5 different colors. I read a review on them that said the hooks are pretty strong. This would be for largemouth bass or striped bass, things like that. They could be used in the ocean, but you don't usually use a diving plug for ocean fishing. It says here, looks 5 lures. Brave fisherman. If you wanted to catch a marlin like that with this kind of lure, that would be brave, because the odds you would land it are precisely 0. But you would need a lure several times heavier duty than this. Made in the PRC, that would be the People's Republic of China. Made by ABS. I think they mean made with ABS. It's a certain type of plastic. So anyway, bargain lures. I don't think I'll try to impale myself on any of these hooks right now. If I pop this open, actually I am going to be stupid and pop it open. I'm just sure, wow, they spilled all over the place. Now they're all hooked in my placemat, right? But anyway, diving plug. I will put them in one of those separating containers, those little plastic containers that have 5 or 6 compartments. If I can ever get them all undone from this here, where they're all tangled up now. These two are, this one's chasing that one. It wants to mate, or it'll be a miracle if I don't stab my finger or my thumb with one of these ultra sharp treble hooks. It will be an absolute miracle. Oh, I just stuck my thumb with it a little bit. Not enough to draw blood. While I'm showing you these, oh look, it even says Brave Fisherman on the top. It's got a little logo there. It's got an eyelet. I think these are usable. In the right circumstance, that could be good for largemouth bass. But I gotta see how they dive and stuff. While I'm on the subject of diving plugs, I gotta show you a really cool gift that my daughter got me the other day when we were down in Bandon. She just felt like getting me a present. She knows that I like vintage fishing equipment of all kinds. haven't started trying to collect it like some guys do. Maybe eventually I'll collect a little bit. Vintage fishing flies and lures and a pole or two, but the old glass, like turquoise glass type from long ago. But she got me this really cool, very well made diving plug for saltwater. And I gotta show it to you. Look at that guy. This cork is to cover this wickedly huge hook on here. So this would basically be used for a saltwater game fish of some type, a salmon, or a large striped bass, or some other type of large saltwater game fish. And this is probably from the 40s or 50s, I can tell by the design. So it's really quite a cool. You could use this in Florida for something like tarpon, or you could use it for other types of more surface-dwelling game fish. A small barracuda, smallish, well, a medium barracuda would strike this. Anyway, that was cool. Let's see what's next. What else did I get? I got a 3-pack of Castmasters, but it's a different brand that is really a knockoff of Castmasters. It looks just like them, and it looks like they're designed the same way and have about the same weight. See, you've got your gold, your silver, and your blue one right there. But these were a lot less money than the Castmasters you'll find in the fishing section of your store. So I thought I'm trying some bargain stuff just to see if any of it's any good. But not everything is bargain, because I wanted to get some more really good fishing line, heavier duty also. So I got this Cast King Fluorocoat line, 12-pound test. This could be used for saltwater fishing for rockfish, or it could be used for salmon and steelhead fishing in the river. And so that's what I'm going to do with this. It could be also for large bass. And I've never tried it, but it's fluorocarbon coated line. It's supposed to be really good, according to the reviews. So I will try this with my larger reel here probably. I'll probably spool this up, because this would be a good reel for steelhead or rockfish type fish, as long as they're not too huge. I have one more box left. What is going to be in it? I think the only thing I haven't found yet is my smaller duty reel, so that must be what it is. Cast King. I hope they sent me the right one. It's got a piece of tape I'm going to have to take off, peel off, or okay. Yeah, this is more for medium type. But I thought I had tried to get a small lure, a small reel. see, this one is for reasonably medium freshwater fish, I'd say. Good sized bass, large trout, small steelhead, that kind of fish. Could be used for ocean fishing, but it would be light duty ocean fishing, like smaller rockfish or flounders or things like that. What I caught the other day, or for what I caught the other day, for example, which if I can remember, I'll put a picture of it in here because I just caught this fish a couple days ago, and it was the first time I fished the jetty, and the jetty in the local bay, Winchester Bay, so it's kind of protected in there, and I had heard that you could sometimes catch large ocean perch there, and sure enough, that's what I hooked into. And that big ocean perch made 2 nice fillets. That fish went from the ocean to my dinner plate in less than 2 hours. I think I hear the train. Let's see if we hear the train whistle in the distance. Yes, I definitely hear the train. I like to hear it. It goes by unpredictably every 3 nights or so. It doesn't go by every night. Usually it's carrying lumber products, because this is the Oregon coast, a lot of lumbering. So if you're picking up that low rumble, I gotta use the Tascam microphone in order for you to really hear it. It must not be up to the crossing yet. That's right by here, because when it gets there, it will sound off. Yeah, not yet. Okay, while we're waiting for that, I also caught my first trout of the season. Wait, there it goes. There's a crossing not far from here. So, I don't know about you, but I love that sound. If trains were going by every night with that low rumble for hours, I would sleep like a baby. Well, maybe, there it goes again. Maybe not listening to the whistle, but I do like that sound. Anyway, I was going to tell you how I caught the big ocean perch, which, by the way, was at least as long as this collapsible rod, which is large for a perch. And I think it was bigger than this. Yes, it was definitely bigger than this, actually. About another few inches. And big and, hefty, very strong. I was using my steelhead rod. Steelhead's a large ocean-going trout that looks a lot like a salmon, and but it's really in the trout family, and it comes back into the rivers to spawn. Anyway, the way I caught this big perch was with a small piece of an anchovy, about the last third of the anchovy with the tail section. Those seem to work the best for this kind of jetty fishing. And I was using just a little split shot and a big long rod with a spinning reel, so I could toss it way out there even though I had almost no weight. And that's great because the fish don't detect all those weight, and it makes it more natural. and you can slowly reel the anchovy tail in and induce strikes. I hope to get a rockfish that way soon also, or maybe a small halibut, a flounder, possibly a sea bass. There's a lot of things you could catch with that technique on the jetty. But I'm also going to do a lot of lake fishing. Caught my first trout of the season. Did I tell you that already? I think I did. Alright, so anyway, everybody, I need a sip of water. And I'll come back and tell you tales of fishing in the future when I can. I'll tell you how this stuff worked out, whether it was good or bad or indifferent. I already can tell I like both of the reels, and I'll put them both to specific uses, but I'm not sure yet about the collapsible rods. I have no idea whether the rods will be sturdy or not. These China-built rods, I don't know. This is really supposed to hang under the rod like this. See? It's very smooth and quiet. Multiple ball bearings. What is that? Oh, you know something that was funny that I just saw that I was going to show you? When we were looking at these lures here, it says here, under Brave Fisherman there, it says, it looks, sounds, feels, tastes, and smells like a wounded baitfish. Can somebody tell me how that's going to smell and taste like a baitfish? Okay? It has no scent, and I'm pretty sure that it doesn't feel or taste like a baitfish. So, I'm not going to put that to the test by eating an anchovy and then biting into this. But I don't think I have to do that test to know. Do you? Okay, so somebody in China thought that would be some good advertising copy, right? But anyway, that's all we have for tonight. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope it was relaxing to you. And if you like it, please thumbs up and subscribe. And also, if you like mukbang and vlogs and ASMR eating videos, check out my girlfriend's YouTube channel, Scorpio and YT. If I remember, I'll write it on the screen, okay? If I can remember. And, yeah, I'll link one of her videos in this one, in the early part, with a card up in the upper right you could click on and it would show you one of her videos. Alright, everybody, take care, don't ASMR and drive, and until next time, bye-bye.